My name is Bruce Collins. I am the owner and founder of Your Choice Insurance Group. We are headquartered in Dallas, Texas. And I have been continuously licensed since 1997 with no consumer complaints. This is an explainer video about health insurance, or more precisely, the consequences of not having health insurance. I do explainer videos for 3 reasons. The first is that this is a fair amount of information to absorb. Second, I am confident enough of the material to memorialize it for your records. Finally, I want you to feel comfortable, and not to be at a knowledge disadvantage as if you were in a car dealer closing room, or a timeshare sales cubicle. If you are married, you may want to have your spouse watch this as well. I will say at the outset that I know this is something you do not want to buy, and in many ways it seems like purchasing an umbrella on a sunny day. If that rainy day comes in the form of a medical emergency, and you have assets of any kind, meaning a home, retirement funds or savings, it will be a typhoon, not just a rainy day. I consider it my professional mandate, and highest calling to give you all of the information you need to prevent a financial catastrophe. An intelligent and responsible person will understand that this information is the greatest gift I can give you, which is the unvarnished truth. I will demonstrate this by way of a brief story. A few years ago I received a call from a neighbor, who I will call Mike. Mike said he was experiencing chest pains and asked if I would drive him to Parkland, which is the anchor hospital in Dallas County. We arrived and went to admitting. Mike was asked if he had insurance and he said he did not. Because he was not in acute cardiac arrest, he was sent to the emergency room. The waiting line was over 100 people, and it took Mike about 5 hours to see a medical professional. It was determined that he needed 1 stent in his heart. This is done by an incision being made in the groin area, and a tube about the size of a toothpick is run up an artery. You are not put to sleep, and the procedure takes less than 1 hour. Mike stayed in the hospital for a total of 4 days to heal and confirm that there were no difficulties. Before the procedure began, he was visited by a member of the finance department and completed paperwork. One of the items said that the hospital could use any legal means to collect payment. Although the name of the hospital is Parkland, it is actually the Dallas County Hospital District, which is a government entity and a taxing authority. Every person or entity that owns property in Dallas County receives a property tax bill. A line item on that bill is for the hospital district. Mike went home and 2 weeks later received a bill for $69,000. The itemized bill was 8 pages long. Mike did not have the money to pay, knew that many people received free treatment, and did not pay. He received notices to pay, the bill was sent to collections, and his credit was trashed. 6 months later, a lien was placed on his home for the full amount. A week later, his wife informed him she would no longer contribute to the mortgage payment. A year later, they were divorced, and when the house was sold, Mike was required to absorb the entire loss. Mike survived the heart attack, but his family did not. This happened for 3 reasons. First, this is what Mike agreed to in the admissions paperwork. 2, he owed the money, and finally, he was gouged because the hospital has to make up for the thousands of people who have no money to pay and no assets to attach. People every day run up 6-figure bills at hospitals and walk out the front door, get into $50,000 cars, and never pay because they have no traceable assets. By the time Mike was settled in for the first night of recovery, Parkland knew he had no insurance, had property they could be attached, and they could charge whatever they wanted. I once received an X-ray bill for $1,400 which was repriced to $275 and settled by the insurance company as paid in full. The pricing and billing system in the medical profession is opaque, totally discretionary, and deeply corrupt. Here's what happens if you come to the hospital with insurance. The insurance company, through a preferred provider organization, has pre-negotiated the prices. Every procedure has a code. If you put out your index finger and they place a bandage on it, the hospital may say it's $20. The network says they will pay $3. The $69,000 the hospital charged to Mike as would be repriced to about $15,000 and paid in full. Women are particularly sensitive to county pays. This is because they take the children to the doctors, get the glasses, etc. You are not a New York City firefighter whose insurance is being paid for by the taxpayer. You may pay some co-pays and a possible deductible. That's how life works, but certainly better than my friend Mike, who now is healthy, but lost his marriage and his home. Your retirement accounts are not judgment-proof. Please note the list of free items every client receives when you purchase health insurance, life insurance, or both. Everyone is one day away from a medical emergency, you just do not know when that day will come. There is an illegal migrant coming across the border today that will have a medical emergency which your taxes will pay for. 80% of all babies born at Parkland are welfare cases. They leave the hospital with an upper-end car seat, formula, diapers and a free-to-them neonatal care Medicaid card. Note I said free to them, but your taxes are paying for it because nothing is free. In closing, and repeating, I know you do not want to buy this, but you have home insurance and auto insurance. People do not purchase health insurance because they know people get free care and they believe they can walk the bill without consequence. You will not walk the bill if you have property or other assets, and you will pay a dramatically inflated price. Contact me at yourchoiceinsurancegroup@gmail.com. Phone or text 214-772-0143.